It is a right guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution. Everyone is entitled to representation in a criminal prosecution. And if you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you at Indigent Defense Attorney.
A Lubbock defense attorney is challenging the indigent defense system in the 106th Judicial District. He says a contracted indigent defense attorney is assigned too many cases, preventing him from providing effective assistance of counsel as defined by bar guidelines and case law. Investigative reporter Shaley has the story.
What drew me to Victor was he said I had no choice.
Attorney Frank Sellers is now representing Victor Vargas after he says Vargas's court-appointed attorney, Artie Aguilar, allegedly dropped the ball.
Do you find that defendants, maybe the first time that they hear from him is in the courtroom?
Most of the time, the only time they hear from him is in the courtroom.
Sellers says Aguilar, the contracted indigent defense attorney for the 106th Judicial District, advised Vargas that pleading guilty to a 2012 charge was his only option.
The first red flag I noted was there were no notes. There was no letters to the client about when court dates were.
Sellers says Aguilar is juggling too many cases. According to the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, in 2012, Aguilar worked 254 felony cases across the 4 counties involved in his contract, which is only 60% of his caseload. The national caseload standards for public defenders is a maximum of 150 felony cases.
It would take 2.95 attorneys to do what he does.
Easily. This appears to be a cost-saving measure for the counties. And what they did was they included this index of here's what we would have to pay if we appointed different lawyers on every case versus what we paid the single contract attorney.
Justice budgeted, but at what cost?
For people who have appointed counsel in the 106th District, I'm afraid that innocence is going overlooked. And that's a big problem for all of us.
But Judge Carter Sheltnick, who is responsible for indigent defense in the 106th Judicial District, told the Texas Indigent Defense Commission that she never thought Aguilar's representation fell below that which the court expects. Philip Wishcamper is with the Lubbock Private Defender's Office.
I have to disagree with Judge Sheltnick in that I do believe that in this case and probably other cases in the 106th District, the contracting lawyer's conduct fell below the stricken standard.
One of his duties is to train appointed attorneys in Lubbock County. He says Aguilar is one of many public defenders who is overloaded.
Doing that many cases, almost a felony case a day, is difficult for anybody. When that is only 60% of your practice, I think it's exponentially more difficult.
Wishcamper emphasizes that in criminal cases where jail is a possibility, there is a constitutional obligation to provide legal representation for individuals like Victor Vargas who cannot afford an attorney.
The counties that are in the 106th District are going to have to come to grips with the fact that to provide the type of representation that every indigent defendant deserves, they're going to have to spend a little more money.
Now, we reached out to Artie Aguilar for comment. He says in accordance with Texas rules of professional conduct, he cannot comment or respond regarding any specific questions about Victor Vargas.
All right. Shaley, what's the status of Vargas's case now?
Well, we actually just found out that the Court of Criminal Appeals has actually refused to hear Vargas's case. So Sellers is going to file a writ of habeas corpus in an effort to overturn Vargas's conviction. Karen and Abner.